Hello friends, this is Abdul Ghafoor with the Teaching and Learning. Today I'm going to share the information about the learning disability versus learning difficulty in Pedagogy lesson 29. These two terms are quite different to each other, but there's a misconception to understand, especially parents. So I'm going to share the information and differentiate it in a very simple way and in just a broader concept that you can easily understand and share the information correctly. I do believe that in these days nobody wants to label his or her child with disability or difficulties. It's hard to accept this, the brutal truth. But sharing information incorrectly, definitely it will not help anybody. So it's better to understand, it's better to share the information correctly, what exactly your child has. It depends on your child's ability, and you cannot improve until you share the correct information to the right person. So this information is really crucial. This information really important. Okay, which depends the students' skills, students' scope, and in order to help them independently. So let's see what is the difference between learning disability and what learning difficulty. Those who didn't subscribe the channel Teaching and Learning, don't forget to subscribe. If you like this video, write the comment, and for more videos please press the bell icon button. So here, learning disability versus learning difficulty. In learning disability, what exactly it is, it's a condition which affects the learning and intelligence of any individual students. And this will be across the life. It will not be for the particular time period. It will be throughout his life. It's a lifelong intervention. So this disability, which is the cannot be covered, and it is a lifetime disability. For example, the visual impairment. Some students having the difficulties of the visual, and some students has the deafness or hard hearing. Some has emotional disturbance. Some has intellectual disabilities. So these are the examples which are the lifelong interventions or learning disabilities. However, difficulty, it might be for a short-term intervention, and it can be removed, and it can be better to come in the actual learning style. So a condition which creates an obstacle to a specific form of the learning, but does not affect the overall IQ of an individual. So what I believe, it's a short-term intervention, and it can be in difficulty in reading, writing, speaking, and hearing, or depends on the what type of the difficulty it is. Sometimes the students are unable to write correctly between lines. Sometimes students are unable to understand the concepts or the what exactly teachers instructed them. Sometimes the students are hard to reply. So these things can be improved by the time. Okay. But it depends on the mental health. So this is most important. These two factors are depending on the mental health. So you might have a question, okay, that how it can be visual impairment, can be hard hearing, can be by devices and all these things, okay. But it depends on what exactly difficulty a child has, and it depends on the mental health of the child and individual. So let's see how it depends on the mental health. Now, suppose an individual which is born with a disability, so I believe that's a lifelong and that's a permanent. So that's a mental health, and this is really important to understand. And this person needs a support that and an individual or another can support in order to complete the task. So this individual who has a permanent disability and or I can say the students with a disability, learning disability, he needs a support. He needs learning support in order to complete the task. However, the mental problems which arise at any time, okay, but which is not by birth or which is arise temporarily, that can be recovered and that can be removed. Like as I mentioned, that under handwriting the problem, okay, that it's not a permanent, that can be easily, or speaking and listening, these skills, they can be easily improved. So these are the difficulties which can improve with other additional support and skills, so in which the student doesn't need any help or support to complete the task. Okay, he need a monitoring, or he need the guidance how he or she has to tackle or catering to students. Okay. So guys, this is the difference between the learning disability and the learning difficulty. I'm sure you understand. If you have any question, you can write in the comment box. If you like this video, subscribe to Teaching and Learning. We'll be meeting with the next lesson with a new topic. Till that, bye. Stay blessed and stay safe.